Hey, what is up, everybody? Thank you for checking out the Pat Out of Hell podcast. I am your host, Patrick Christopher. Another solo podcast. I need to start reaching out to people to do, like, to be a guest, to come on, so I'm not just talking to myself. Because I don't know how entertaining that is. It's not that much fun to do sometimes. Sometimes it is. Like, if I have things I do want to, touch on, talk about, all that stuff. But it'd be a whole lot easier to have somebody to bounce off ideas with. Sort of like the Duder Man Homie Bro podcast. That's always like a barrel of laughs, almost all the time. 60% of the time it happens all the time. Well, Pat Out of Hell, it's a different thing, obviously. It's just, it's me talking shit out about my comedy journey, my progress. But it's also a place where I get to come and vent about things that might be bothering me, or just things that are going on that I just want to vent about. And so that is what we're doing here today. Before we get into that, if you could like and subscribe and all that good stuff on the YouTube or Spotify or wherever else you're listening to this podcast, or all the podcasts, the Duder Man Homie Bro, that's hilarious, Los Dos Marihuanos, all the Barbacoa Core podcast. Yeah. Like and subscribe on the YouTube page, the Barbacoa Core YouTube page. Yeah, get on it now while there's still a place, while we still are have a studio, because who knows, one day it's here, the next day it's gone. You never know. Things happen, and things can be shut down at any time. And so get on board while there's a board to get on. Does that make sense? Like and subscribe, all that stuff. It'll help with the algorithms. That's okay. That's what I want to talk about. The whole social media. I suck at social media. People keep saying, like, I could help you out, and people giving me advice, and it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, there's so many tricks, and maybe it's not that hard. Maybe I'm just thinking it's more difficult than I actually think it is. Like trends and hashtags, and there's certain times where you post. What I do, how I mess up on, like, the things, the reels and videos and whatever I post. If I'm editing something and it's ready to go, I'm just like, send it, post it as soon as possible, as soon as it's ready. And it might be, 3 in the afternoon, 2 in the morning. You just never know. But apparently, those aren't the best times to post. If you want people to get stuff, eyes on your content or whatever, you got to do it first thing in the morning or something like that, 9 o'clock, and then do it around lunchtime, and then do it around I guess drive time, which doesn't make any sense because people are driving to and from their job or something. I don't know. That might be all wrong. I might not even have the right times for that stuff. But one thing that's been tripping me out too is that, like, reading people's caption stuff on, like, TikToks and Instagram, and people started using SEGGS instead of the word sex. And apparently they do that because if they put sex, it has a negative impact on their video. Even like, if they put the word sex, SEX, if you know how to spell sex, if you put that caption on there, apparently it has a negative impact on your video. Even though you're still saying the word sex and you're not saying Seggs. But again, it sounds the same. Seggs, sex. That reminds me of that. I was just watching Seinfeld the other day, and it was that one where the lip reader, the deaf lip reader, and he's like, "How about six? Six is good. Six is really good." Like, talking about what time to pick her up or whatever for her date. And then the lip reader thought he said sex, and he got all upset. But I was like, who says 6 is good? 6 is really good. And who says Seggs? But anyway, apparently that's something that you have to do. Like you can't be like cussing. And usually with the Duder Man, with any clips that I do with Babacoa Core, I'll edit the curse words out for social media. It's there. The full version's on the YouTube page, which might be a problem when it comes to being monetized and stuff. See, this is all things that I should like look into. Because I opened up this podcast studio and I'm running a podcast network, and I have no idea what the guidelines or what's the do's and don'ts of YouTube's and Instagram and all that stuff. But it was just like, did that just happen? The whole Seggs thing, Seggs. Like you're still saying sex. You're not bleeping out sex, but just because you can't spell out sex, or just messes up your video or the algorithm or making sure people see it and all that stuff. But I mean, you got that's a hot topic. Everybody does segs. Seg sells. It's relatable for the most part. Um, but I think something about like because for TikTok is more for kids, and even though they will see this video that you're talking about sex, as long as they don't read sex, then it's okay. I think that's the thing. I don't know if is that for the children, or y'all thinking about the children when you do the seggs? It doesn't make sense to me. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me, but I have to get on board, because being funny doesn't matter for the most part. You gotta be sexy. You gotta be sexy as fuck. Even though I honestly think this might be I might get some shit for this, but I think good looking people aren't that funny. You have to be weird looking. You can't be all hot, and be funny. I can't think of anybody that I find attractive and funny. Uh, I mean, I'm sure, like all women are beautiful. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about like guys, I guess. Like good looking comedians. And I'll admit who's good looking or who's not good looking. Like good looking comedians are people that think they're good looking. Like if the audience thinks that they're an attractive person, like people love Chris D'Elia. I think he's very weird looking. Um, I don't get it, but apparently for a while he was a sexy now he's in a lot of trouble for that whole thing. I saw that documentary that they had on the YouTube about all this stuff and his cult and all that thing. But apparently he's still out and about doing shows and whatever. But I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's good looking anyway. But so what was I saying? Oh yeah, good looking people aren't funny to me, in my opinion, obviously. Um, and what's weird is like people just like they post, and this is for both male and females, and I don't mean to offend anybody of either segs, but they'll post like little thirsty photos of them like being all hot and shit, and then they'll be like, "Come see my comedy show." It's like, oh, okay. Is it gonna be funny or just I'm just gonna go look at you be good looking and whatnot, which is fine for some of the females. And some of them embrace it. Like there was this one girl, one female, that posted her picture in while she was in the gym, and her caption was, "I was told I don't have to be funny anymore," um, which was funny, because she's hot. She's in the gym all the time, posting gym photos, and then she does comedy. Maybe. Uh, I don't know if I've ever seen her. Yeah, I've seen her live, and didn't do too good, in my opinion. In my opinion, I do think females can be funny. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is, use like the ones that are more attractive than usual, if that's a safe way to say it, more attractive than usual. Usual, they're decent looking comedians. May not be funny. Maybe they're just they just got a lot of people, a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers because of their hotness and not because of their hotness. Huh? Is that a thing? Hotness. Um, but yeah. So what was I talking? Oh, I was just because the whole thing. I'm trying to learn about the trends of the social medias, and I'm posting reels. And if you saw them, give it a like. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing out there. I'm just trying to get my name out there. I'm trying to get the podcast's name out there. I'm trying to get all that out there, and I need to boost the numbers. I need to start focusing on the numbers in 2023. Um, see what happens with all that. But Seg sales. Seg sales for sure. So this weekend, I'm recording this on Sunday. So this past Friday and Saturday, I got because I told you how I won that MC competition for Upstage, right? And so what that means is that like if there's a gig and they need a host, I'm one of four people to get called up to do the weekend or do the show for the headliner or whatever. To host the show for the whoever's coming in town. So we had Calamar White, and he has this hit song on World Star Records. I guess World Star has a record label. I thought they were just like fight videos, World Star. But yeah, he has a hit song called "Never Do Shit at Work." And that got a lot of traction. What was cool about this guy, and I heard this from a podcast. I really didn't get a chance to talk to him too much, but what was cool is that like he completely shut down all his social media. Like he was just like while he was like building up something, he erased all his social media, kind of went off the grid, so to speak, and then he recorded a grip load of songs like comedy parody songs and stuff, rap songs. And then his plan was to have, and I can't do the math, but for his plan, he wanted to release a new video, um, at least every week of the year. And so if you break down the math of all that stuff, he had enough tracks to release a video every week of the year. I believe that's correct. I don't want to say every day. I think every day would be too much. I think he did it every week of the year. He was releasing a new video. And so new content was coming out. New content was coming out. It was blowing up. It was blowing up. It was blowing up. And then that one, Never Do Shit at Work, caught on. And now he's doing a Never Do Shit at Work tour. Which is just stand up. He doesn't do. I mean, he comes on and he'll rap his song a little bit, but he's stand up. He comes in and does stand up, and so yeah, we were at Upstage Friday and Saturday. Friday was a little slow, you know, the half capacity. A good crowd though. They were still fun. And what threw me off is that, like, so I was the host of the show. They wanted me to do 15, 20 up top and then start introducing the other comics, get the show going. And so I was doing that. I did my 15, I did about 17 minutes. And then I started bringing up the comics. And then I brought up the first comic, C. Rich. I believe she's out of Dallas. Hilarious. They were all funny. It was C. Rich, damn, I'm gonna forget his name. Jesus, let me look it up. That's bad. Cherry, I know that much. Let's see. Corey Cherry, and then Calamar White. All three comics were fucking hilarious, dude. It was so funny. A lot of fun. And they're all three black comics, and most of the audience was a black audience. And I was even talking to Jerry Debo Smith Loud Pack, San Antonio's King from the North, Jerry Debo Smith, and I was telling him because like he was there Saturday night, and I was like, man, I gotta do more shows in front of a black audience, because they're tough. They're tough critics. It takes a lot to make them laugh. And I was telling him, I know I'm doing well with the black audience if I hear somebody says you're stupid. If somebody yells out, mostly usually a female, if somebody yells out you're stupid or that's so stupid, that's validation. That's when you know that you've made them laugh. And that's happened to me a couple times. It's possible. I've gotten called stupid plenty of times in a positive way. And I was talking to Debo about that. He was like, "Hey, you should make a joke about that." But then he was like, "Yeah, you should say this." And then he said, the N word. He was like, "Nah, you don't say that." I was like, "I can't say that. Get out of my head. I can't say that." But so I want to start working on that. I want to be able to work with any audience, in front of any audience. If I could master that, man, like that's a goal of mine for this year, is to be able to just go to any rooms, white rooms, Mexican rooms, black rooms, other rooms, yeah, just connecting, being able to connect with the people. So that'd be good. So yeah, Friday was good. Saturday we sold out. Saturday was a sold out, packed audience. It was great. It was a great night, a lot of fun. But what tripped me up a bit is that the headliner, Calamar White, he was like, "Hey man, how come you're not doing time between every comedian?" I was like, "Oh, we really don't do that. I've never really heard of that, and it's kind of frowned upon to do that because it might be a sign of disrespect to the person who just got off. Like I did good. I did the crowd. Why are you trying to either ride my wave instead of keeping the show moving along and then going up and doing another set in between, you know, the opener, the feature, and then the headliner stuff." So I was like, we really don't do that, man. And then again, I did 17 minutes. I mean, I wasn't prepared to do another five, another three, or whatever. And so he's like, "Yeah, man, just do some more time. Get your rocks off," is what he said. And I was like, "Cool." And so Friday, I did another set right before I brought him on. And didn't go as strong as I wanted to because, again, I did 17 minutes up top of what I prepared to be, the good set, the strong set, because my job was to start strong and then get the hell out of the way, just get the hell out of the way. But he wanted me to do time. So because I knew about that on Saturday, I was like prepared. I was like, okay, I'm going to do 3 sets. I'm going to do one 15-minute and then 2 5s. And so I was more prepared on that. I still felt awkward doing time in between. And I was talking to another buddy of mine, Brent Williams. He's the co-host of Los Dos Marihuanos. And I was talking about that. He's like, "Yeah, man, like that's usually how black shows are run. Like if you notice, what was it? Kings of Comedy. I think it was Steve Harvey that was the host, and he would kick it off, bring somebody out, and then do some more time, bring somebody out." But I was like, I thought that was just for that. I thought it was just for that type of show. But apparently that's what happens, that the host goes and he does time between every shows. I've just never done a show like that. I've seen a couple shows like that, and it's been frowned upon. Why is the host doing more time? They should have. If they wanted to do that joke, if they wanted to give it to the audience, they should have gave it to them up top. We got a show to run. We got to keep this moving. Yeah. So, but hey, that's what the headliner wanted. If the headliner wanted me to do less time, work clean, don't say this, don't say that, you do whatever the headliner tells you to do. It's their show. If they want it to be a certain way, you got to do it that way. That's just. This is how it's got to be, So you got to ask questions. You got to ask like, oh, like, what credits do you want? How do you want me to bring you up? Anything you want me to avoid, not talk about? He was cool, man. He was cool. He's like, just get your rocks off, man. Have fun out there. Uh, so it was cool, man. Cool to work with them. Hopefully, do more shows at Upstage with touring acts. That'll be fun. But yeah, check out Calamar White, Corey Cherry, and C Rich, um, all on their social medias and all that stuff. Funny comics, man. It was cool to work with them. Um, but yeah, man, I figured I realized because I did a show at Upstage Wednesday, hosted the Big Bang Jeremy Jonah's Big Bang show that he does for the military. It's like a military appreciation show, so a lot of military people come out, and so I hosted that on the 12th, and then I had Friday and Saturday. But before that, I mean, I haven't been able to do mics. My time has been taken up by podcasting or other things, recording, that I haven't been able to focus on mics, man. And it made me realize that I need to kind of assess or reassess rather, my time and energy. I have to look out because the main goal of all this stuff, the podcast studio, the podcast network, the podcasting and as a whole, is to promote the comedy. To promote my stand up, our stand up. Whoever's doing podcast here. Bottom line, finish line, main goal, the whole reason is to promote the stand up, what we do on stage. And if I'm not taking every opportunity to get on stage, even if it's open mics are very important to do. I mean, I've heard there's, TikTok comedians that go, I already have a fan base. Why the hell do I need to go do open mic and bomb for free? You know, like there's comics that do shows, but they don't. They're TikTok comics, and comedy comics nonetheless. I'm not taking anything away from them. People love TikTok comics. TikTok comics make money. TikTok comics put asses in the seats. But I am still I'm a stand-up. I want to focus on stand-up comedy, and social media. Hopefully, it will come later. I'm not really trying to become like a TikTok comic. I did this one post. I hated it. And I was just mocking how like people just put like you'll see like those TikToks where a guy, it's obviously a guy, he's beard, he's very guyish, will just put like a towel on his head and then do a female voice and just say stupid shit like, oh, I'm a female now because I have a towel on my head, rather than a wig, rather than like actually like putting the effort into it. All you did is put a towel on your head and now you're a girl in the TikTok universe. And I did a video like that, and I fucking hated it. I am so ashamed of it. But it's getting views and it's getting reactions and stuff. Probably because it's like anti TikTok, anti like the whole gimmick of like all you're doing is you have a towel on your head, and and you do a little feminine voice, and that works. What works on TikTok doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, my point before shitting on comics that don't work at the open mics, that don't write a certain way, the way that I do, not a certain way. There's not one way to do it, and they're doing fine, obviously. But for myself, going back to just myself and how I approach this thing is that I need to do open mics so I know what to do at the shows. So I know what works at the shows. And so yeah, man, I let it go. I let, I give away my time and my energy on other things. But what I need to do, I need to start I need to start focusing on open mics and stuff. I got distracted a little bit because if I heard something going on, and I think I'm in this building by myself, so I'm like, ghost, ghost. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else is here, which is awkward because usually I like to come in here after hours or you know on the weekends when nobody else is here. But yeah, man, I gotta be more protective of my time and my energy, and my money. I gotta focus on the money when it comes to doing things for people, man, because like people will take advantage. People, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile or whatever the saying is, an inch, a yard, a mile, a distance. They'll take it from you. They'll take it if you give it. They'll take it. Um, and but I have this problem where I want everybody to like me. I want to not be considered like you know I want to be helpful. I want to be the go-to guy. I want to be everybody's friend, everybody's buddy. But people take advantage of that shit. And then when you switch it up on them, and you're like, "Yo, you need to fix this. You need to take care of this. Uh, you need to pay me. You need to respect my time, what I'm doing for you." Um, when I start doing that, they're just like, "Dude, why are you being a bitch?" You know, why are you being such an asshole about it? Like, no, man, what my problem is and what you need to fix is now I am letting you know where I am on this. And if it's not beneficial for me, then I shouldn't be doing it. You know, uh, and that just goes with anything. I don't know. I'm not really like, yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm here to vent. I'm here to complain. And that's what I'm doing. And what sucks is that like I do need to protect what I need to look out for me. I need to look out for me first, and then if I can help anybody else, I'll do that because I do want to help other people. It's not that I don't, but I just need to make sure, and not that I'm trying to get rich off of anybody. I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody. I will be fair, but I also gotta like, hey man, like look out for me, you know, and. Yeah, man. I gotta put me first, which sounds like a fucking asshole thing to say, but at the same time, like nobody else is gonna take care of me. Nobody else is gonna take care of you, but you. So focus on you, man. Take care of you, and then if you can't, like it's like what happens in the planes when that mask comes down. What do they tell you? What do they tell you? They say put your mask on first, and then help out somebody else put their mask on first. And that's all I gotta do. I gotta fucking put my mask on first. I gotta get my bag. I gotta make sure that my time is not given away for nothing. I need to protect my time, protect my chickens, or something like that, right? What did Marshall Lynch said? Marshawn Lynch. Which, by the way, Seahawks lost so bad to the 49ers. At the beginning, I thought, oh man, I was like, do we have a chance? Because nobody counted, like everybody counted the Seahawks out. 49ers had a fire fucking season, and we just made it into the wild card. And so we went up against the 49ers, and then it looked like we were doing good. We were, it looked like we're gonna fucking handle it. And then they just took off with it, dude. 49ers took off with it. It was so bad, like I didn't even finish watching the game. Because I had to get ready to go to the show. The doors were at 7. I wanted to get there by 7:30, make sure everything's all right. Game ended at 6:30, and I was like, yeah, man, fuck this. I'll just start getting ready. I didn't even finish watching the game. It was that bad. But yeah, go Hawks. Hopefully we get Geno Smith back and give it a good run next year. It's just I like the Seahawks. I mean, I know they're not the best team. They're young, but I like to see. I like to anything Seattle. I like the Kraken. I know nothing about the NHL or hockey, but like the Seattle Kraken, Seattle Mariners, Seattle Seahawks. Sounders, I don't know because I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing about soccer, but Sounders, Storm. Do they still have a Storm? Seattle Storm, WNBA. If they do, I dig it. But Yeah, man. I guess that's it for the pet out of hell. I actually, I know I said that I'm gonna get guests on, but I actually enjoyed talking to myself. I feel good about getting shit off my chest. I don't know, man. Excuse me. But yeah, dude. Maybe I'll do the group talk with the Duder Man Homie Bros. I'll do the solo talk with the Pat out of Hell, and I guess that's it. I was gonna work on another project, but you know, things and whatnot. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. This has been the Pat Out of Hell podcast. I have been Patrick Christopher. Please like and subscribe on all the things. Social media is at your homie Pat. You can go to babacoolcore.com for all the podcast information. And yeah, man, hit me up for shows. Hit me up. Hit up the DMs for booking and availabilities. And I'll try to make it happen, man. All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Peace.
But he rumbled and stumbled.